Hi everyone, my name is Elia, and in this YouTube video we're delving into the tradwife media niche, which has exacerbated in popularity, particularly on TikTok. The tradwife media niche that you most likely have encountered, at first sight it seems all about homemaking, femininity, and nostalgia for the good old days. It involves perfectly curated videos of home-cooked meals, spotless homes, and those perfect homemakers sharing their secrets to happiness. But I believe beneath all of that garb, there's a subtle pull towards traditional and conservative values, so let's break it down together. To begin, let's talk about the aesthetic. The tradwife niche is all about romantic and nostalgic visuals, so think gorgeous dresses, perfect kitchens, and beautiful baked goods fresh out of the oven. It's picturesque, right? But these influences aren't just baking focaccia. They're selling you an ideal that stems from traditional gender roles where women are expected to find fulfillment in domesticity and motherhood. I'll explain some influences that are pretty popular within this tradwife niche. We'll begin with Ballerina Farm. Her content features beautiful countryside life with TikToks of raising her children and taking care of farm animals. While it's also calming and inspirational, it does imply that a woman's highest fulfillment is embedded in motherhood and homemaking. Then there's Mrs. Midwest, who vocally advocates for embracing traditional roles and femininity, embracing the idea that being a supportive wife is the ultimate fulfillment. And finally, Feminine Not Feminist, who outrightly rejects modern feminist beliefs, suggesting that the optimal life for a woman is from submission to traditional roles. Now, I know you're asking, why should we care? It's not that anyone shouldn't choose this lifestyle for themselves. It's completely their choice and more power to them if they have the funds especially. The concern grows when these influences gently suggest that there is no other way for women to be happy, while reinforcing the idea that true femininity means being a homemaker. This messaging can feel empowering, but it often limits the capacity of women's roles in society. It is also important to notice that these portrayals can seem harmless. They often imply that women should prioritize home life over careers or personal goals. It positions traditional roles as the best way to live, which can be a detrimental narrative. The most concerning part of this, to me, is that the tradwife aesthetic doesn't outright yell, "You have to be a housewife," but the vibe absolutely is there. It plays on emotions and feelings. The peaceful home, the gentle lighting, and the calm, controlled woman all send a subconscious message that this is the standard for women. By presenting this perfectly curated brand, it subtly critiques more progressive ideals, again, without outright saying it's there. So it can encourage traditional gender roles under the disguise of an aesthetic inspiration. Again, even though this content doesn't yell conservatism, it absolutely whispers it. It fosters an environment where traditional gender roles are normalized and romanticized, usually without the audience recognizing the underlying connotations. Now let's discuss the algorithms that project this content into our feeds. TikTok and Instagram favor aesthetically pleasing and inspirational content. The more polished a video looks, the more likely it is to gain traction. This means that influencers like Ballerina Farm and Mrs. Midwest are reaching massive audiences, so they're extending their message even further. So when people, specifically women, view this content, they may start to question themselves, like, why should I embrace my career, and is it really fulfilling if I could just stay at home and be a homemaker? It creates a feedback loop where traditional ideals gain movement, sometimes without even being questioned. I just want to make it clear that I'm not saying that being a tradwife is a bad thing inherently. If it works for some dynamics, great. But we need to be more wary of the messages we're consuming online. Social media has a way of subtly influencing our beliefs and values, even without us even realizing it. And just on a last note, I want to just say, next time you're scrolling for your beautifully curated For You page on TikTok or on Instagram, ask yourself, what is this content really saying, and how does it make you feel about your own life? And I think you should also remember that the internet isn't real life. Everything isn't perfect. Things screw up. Life isn't perfect. So don't use this as a reference to your life. Thank you and bye!